Good morning, children. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
We were discussing about reproduction in the previous class and we learned about making copies of DNA. One of the important step in reproduction is making copies of DNA. And along with the copies of DNA, what else is getting copied, children? One more structure need to be copied. An additional structure is also needed along with the copying of DNA. Who is remembering? Hadibi? The division or the copying of DNA should be followed by what? Can both the DNA exist within the same cell, Hadibi? Can the two DNA formed exist within the same cell? Or it, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Once DNA has been copied and we have got two DNAs. One copied, a particular DNA, it's getting copied and we get two of them. Now what is next? It should be accompanied by or it should be followed by what? Nobody? Yes?
Cellular
Cellular apparatus. We need an additional cellular apparatus also so that both these DNAs can be separated into those cells. So new cell and the newly formed DNA. So an additional cellular apparatus also should be formed following the division of DNA. And we learned that this is very important. DNA copying is very important in the process of evolution. And when the DNA is being copied, there can be minor differences. So whenever DNA is being copied and when new copies are being formed, that will be slightly different from the parental DNA. Minor changes, subtle changes will be there. Okay, and these changes will result in variations. And when these variations are accumulated over a long period of time, it will result in evolution. But if the changes in the DNA, when the DNA is being copied, if drastic changes are there, what will happen to the DNA? Will it be able to survive? No, it will not be able to survive within the newly formed cellular apparatus. It will get destroyed. But if the changes are minor, the DNA will be able to survive and it will lead to variations, and variations in the long run can result in evolution. So till there we had completed in the previous class. I want you all to note down the lecture notes. Populations of organisms, they will fill well-defined places or niches in an ecosystem using their ability to reproduce. So here niches, the term may be new for you. It has got different meanings. We can even say it is the functional. Niche means the functional role of an organism in an ecosystem. In that way you can say, but here they have meant it as a specific area within a habitat where the organisms live. A specific area within a habitat. So that is what they have meant by niche here. Niche has got another meaning also in broader sense. We say it as the functional role of an organism in a ecosystem. Anyway, populations of organisms, they will be filling niches or well-defined places within an ecosystem using their ability to reproduce. If they need to fill in that area, then their number should increase. Only the number is more. See that organism or the members of the species is 1 or 2 or 5 or 10. They cannot fill the niche. They'll be limited to a small area. If they have to fill and occupy the entire space, they should divide, they should multiply, or in other words, you can say they should increase in number by means of reproduction. Populations of organisms, they will fill well-defined places or niches in the ecosystem using their ability to reproduce. They will reproduce for more and more organisms and they'll be filling the niche. The consistency of DNA copying, the stability of DNA copying during reproduction is very important for maintaining the body design, features which will allow an organism to use that particular niche. Children, I told you in the previous class, one of the important step in DNA, one of the important step in reproduction is making copies of DNA. And we learned that organisms look similar because their dash are similar. Why organisms look similar? Because their
DNA is similar.
is it DNA? I gave you another term.
Genes.
What design? What design? Last class we learned body designs, exactly. So the organisms look similar because their body designs are similar. Their body designs are similar because the blueprints for making body designs are similar. So one of the important steps involved in the process is making copies of DNA. And I told you there can be minor changes in the DNA. It is acceptable that will lead to variations and it can result in evolution. But if these changes are drastic, then the organism will not be able to survive. And you also learned that DNA contains the information for making what? DNA is the information source for making what, children? Which nutrient?
Protein.
Proteins. DNA is the information source for making proteins. If there is some change in the DNA, information will change, proteins will change, body designs will change. Okay, so that DNA is very, very important. And the consistency of DNA copying, the stability, the DNA copying, the process should be consistent. There should not be any drastic variations. And this consistency is very important. Only if it is consistent, you can maintain, or the organisms can maintain the same body design. If there are differences in DNA copying, body design will change. And if the body designs are changed, they won't be able to use that particular habitat or the niche where they are living. Because each organism, they have some adaptations which will help them to survive in that habitat. So if the body design is changed, will they be able to survive? See, I'm giving an example. Fishes are having gills. It is with the help of gills they can survive in water. But by some variation, these gills have changed and some other structure has been formed, they won't be able to survive there. So the consistency of DNA copying is very important so that the same body designs can be maintained and the organisms will be able to use that particular niche. So reproduction is very important, or it is linked to the stability of the population of species. So the stability of the population species, that is linked to reproduction. What is the reason? Because reproduction involves making copies of DNA. And the consistency of the DNA copying is very important. Why? Because if it is not consistent, their body designs might change. If the body designs are changed, then they won't be able to survive in that particular niche and they'll get destroyed. So the stability of the species is related to reproduction. See, for reasoning questions they can ask, reproduction is linked to the stability of population of species. Give reason. In your textbook, it is given in the introduction part. You might skip it, but all these are important. That is why I have prepared slides on that. I could have skipped it. But all these are, I can directly go to the methods of reproduction, but this introduction part is also having significance. It can be asked how reproduction is related to the stability of the species. The reason is reproduction is an important stage or step in, DNA copying is an important step in reproduction. And the DNA copying should be a consistent process. If there are alterations in DNA copying, then the body design will become different. If the body designs become different, they cannot survive in that particular niche and they'll get destroyed. So that is why we say the stability of the species is related to reproduction. Have you got the point? Am I clear to you? You can feel free to clarify. If you need again explanation, I'm ready to do that. But give me the response. Adidev, followed.
Yes, ma'am.
So shall I proceed towards the end? If you have doubts, I'll come back to the same again. Now, next is about the change in niche. What happens when the niche is changed? So here I told you, if the body designs are getting changed, they cannot survive in that particular niche. When the body designs are altered, the organisms will not be able to survive in that particular niche. That is one case that I told you. But just assume that the niche, that specific area within that habitat is undergoing some changes due to changes in the climatic conditions and all. Niche is undergoing some changes. Let's see what will happen in such a case. Niche can change because of reasons beyond the control of organism. The habitat or that specific area in the habitat where the organisms survive can undergo changes because of the climate change in climatic conditions. It's not under the control of organisms surviving there. Many a times it is not under the control of the organism. So niche underwent some change. So what will happen? If the niche gets altered drastically, minor changes, okay, organisms will be able to survive. But if it is getting altered drastically, so much changes are taking place, what happens? The population of reproducing organisms which are adapted to that particular niche will get wiped out. Children, I'll repeat it again. Assume that a group of organisms living within a niche. Niche means a specific area within a habitat. So they are surviving there happily. But suddenly what happened? Some changes or some climatic changes took place which were beyond the control of these organisms. Drastically altered, not minor changes. Drastic changes took place in the niche where they are surviving. So what happens? They won't be adapted because they don't have the adaptations. So in such case, they will be completely wiped out from that area. Are you getting it? A particular area where they are surviving. Unfortunately, something happened in the, maybe it can be aquatic habitat or terrestrial habitat. Whatever it is, suddenly some changes took place there. Some climatic changes. So those organisms surviving there might get wiped out. They become extinct or completely, it can get removed from that area. May not become extinct, they might be surviving, related species or same species might be surviving in some other area. But whatever is the case, from that particular area, they can get wiped out. However, a few individuals of this population with some variations might survive. Children, I told you, when reproduction is happening, DNA is being copied. And DNA which is being copied, they are not exactly identical. Subtle variations, small variations will be there. And these variations may not be present, it is not the same in all organisms. So it depends. So if these variations were drastic, they would not have survived. But minor variations have developed or are present in these organisms. And some of the variations might help them to survive in that changed habitat. So a few of them might have developed variations which enable them to adapt to that changed niche. Even if the climatic conditions got changed, 99% of them might get wiped out, but a few might be there who are having some variations which they got by means of reproduction process, by means of DNA copying. Minor changes in the DNA copying might have brought about some variations in some of the organism. All might have developed variations, but all may not be helpful in this case. I'll give you an example, then you will understand. So only those organisms will survive, remaining will get destroyed. So here is the case of a population of bacteria. These bacteria were living in temperate waters. Temperate waters will have moderate temperature, neither too high nor too cold. So they were surviving very happily in temperate waters. And suddenly what happened? Due to some climatic conditions or some changes in the climate, the water, temperature of the water increased. Suddenly there was an increase in the temperature of the water. Let it be, take the case of global warming. You know, as a result of global warming, the Earth's temperature is getting increased. So let it be an after effect of global warming, and the water increase its temperature. But the bacteria which were surviving there, they are adapted to live in temperate waters, where the temperature of the water is neither too high nor too cold. But when this temperature suddenly changed, temperature got changed suddenly, these poor ones did not expect it. Suddenly it happened. What will happen? Then these majority of them will get destroyed because they don't have any adaptations to survive in that high temperature. But some of them were resistant. They were temperature, this high temperature, they could resist. They were tolerant to high temperature. They were heat resistant. How they became heat resistant? They all belong to the same species. But some of them, they had some variation which enabled them to survive heat or resist heat, or that made them tolerant to temperature, high temperature. So those bacteria will survive. Those which are not having that particular variation, they'll get destroyed. So that is how the variations are becoming helpful. All of them might have developed variations during the process of this reproduction. As a result of reproduction, variations will be present in all of them, but different variations. Only a few of them had variations which made them tolerant to high temperature. They will survive, others will get destroyed. Variation is thus useful in the survival of species over time. So this statement also can be asked. Variations will help in the survival of species over time. Substantiate the statement. Means with the help of an example, you have to explain the statement. So you can give the example of this bacteria and explain. Okay. Have you understood, children? I will ask you questions. That time you don't tell me that I did not understand or we did not understand. I'll explain it again. Okay. Okay, just a minute. I will explain it again and then we'll proceed. All those who did not, and I'll show you the slide again. If you haven't noted down the points, not to worry. I'll explain it again. Okay. So just assume that a particular niche, and I gave you two definitions for niche, two explanations. One is the functional role of an organism in an ecosystem. It's in a broader sense, which you can learn later. But here what they have meant is a specific area within a habitat where organisms live. Okay. And in this case, I told the niche, the specific area in a habitat where organisms are living, they can change. Maybe some climatic conditions might result in the change of niche. The characteristics or the features of the niche might change. And these are beyond the control of the organisms. Even if they want, they cannot control or they cannot stop these changes. So that will happen, quite natural, that will take place. So just assume that the niche is changing drastically. Minor changes in the niche means maybe organisms will be able to withstand. Slight changes and all, they might be able to withstand it. Just assume that the niche where these organisms were surviving changed drastically. Suddenly it became entirely different, drastic change. So what will happen? Normally, those organisms who were surviving in that niche, they are adapted to that. They have some adaptations which will help them to survive in that particular habitat. And they were living peacefully over there. But suddenly when the conditions change, they will get destroyed because they are not able to cope up with the situation. They didn't expect such a change. They don't have any such variations. So they will perish. But at the same time, some of them who have got the variations which will help them to survive in the changed habitat will survive. Others will get destroyed. Now you might be thinking, why all are not having the same variations? That cannot happen. These variations are making, see, we all are human beings. Yes, but are we identical? We have similar appearance, but we are not identical. Each one is unique. It's because of these variations present in us. Okay, and here one example is also given in temperate waters. In temperate waters means where the temperature of the water will be neither too high nor too cold, moderate. And so a group of bacteria, a population of bacteria, they were surviving there. Very happily, they were surviving, no problem, and they were able to multiply, and this they were going on like that. But suddenly, what happened? Due to global warming, global warming has resulted in increase in the temperature of the earth, and the water temperature also got increased. Will they be able to survive? Because they had been adapted to live in temperate waters. When suddenly the situations change, 99% majority of them will get destroyed. But a few of them could survive. And why a few of them survived, their remaining bacteria got destroyed? Because those few bacteria, they had some adaptations, or they had some variations which made them tolerant to temperature. So once they are tolerant to temperature, they have no problem in surviving in water with high temperature, and so they were able to manage. Yes, no, Aditi? Give me the example of bacteria. Yes. What did I try to explain with the help of the example of bacteria?
Bacteria lives in a temperate water. If the temperature of water increases, the
Then
bacteria
what
die.
happens? Majority?
A majority dies. But there are some bacteria. Their variations are just
They were tolerant to temperature.
high.
What made them tolerant to temperature, Badra? What made them tolerant to temperature?
Because they have variations.
The variations enable them to withstand the high temperature. And majority of them could not survive and they got destroyed. That is why we say variations will help in the survival of the species. And next time, the climate can change in a different way. Okay, in a different way, the climate will change. Then there also, the same thing will happen. Now, for example, this temperature tolerant bacteria are present in that particular niche. After several years or after a particular period of time, again the climate got changed. Some other change took place, or say for example, it became highly saline, or the salt concentration increased. I'm just giving you an example. So there, these temperature tolerant bacteria may not survive. Yet another group will survive who are resistant to the salinity. Are you getting it, children? Again, this can keep on going. Maybe later some other variation can take place. Only those who can get adjusted there will survive. That is why we say variations will help in the survival of the species. This statement can be given. Variations will help in the survival of the species. Explain giving an example. So then you can give the example of this bacteria and clarify the point or explain it. Is it clear? Is it clear? So, whatever we have completed, just summarize and then I'll proceed. You say that you have understood, but I should feel that you have understood. No? Arjun, what did we learn today?
Bacteria.
Aha. We started with the bacteria. In the beginning, what did we discuss?
Importance and variation.
I told you reproduction is related to the stability of the species. How? How reproduction is related to the stability of the species? What is an important step in reproduction? Important stage in reproduction? Making what? Making? In reproduction, an important step involved is making copies of something in a DNA. And then, what is the significance of DNA copies? What will happen if it gets altered?
Maintenance of modification.
Yes, Arjun? See, say for example, when the DNA was being copied, some drastic changes took place. Then what will happen? What will happen to the body? Body design will change. If the body designs are changed, will they be able to survive in the same niche?
No.
No. So that consistency of DNA copying is very, very important. And this, is it clear? The consistency of DNA copying is very important to provide stability of the species. If the DNA copying is not consistent, whenever the DNA is getting copied, drastic changes are there, then the body design will change. Once the body designs are changed, the organism will not be able to use the same niche. Have you understood, children? Huh?
Ma'am, can you show that last slide?
I'll show it. You explained it very well. Then what happened? Hadibi. Okay. And Mary, why it is said that reproduction is associated with the, or variations are helpful in the survival of species. In a way, you can say it is reproduction because reproduction will lead to variations. Tell me, why we say that variations will help in the survival of a species?
As that example of bacteria.
All that I don't know, you have to explain. You can decide how to explain.
That particular group of bacteria is living in a temperate water, and suddenly the temperature increases and the bacteria with the variation survives.
Wait. Are you reading and?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then carry on.
Then the bacteria with the variation survives and the majority of them dies.
Why majority of them are dying, or why majority of them died?
They don't have any variations.
Will not be able to withstand
The temperature.
Then who survived? Who survived in that?
With variations.
Because they had some variations which made them temperature tolerant and they were able to survive. Okay? Have you understood? Is there anyone who did not understand? Muhammad Ahmad, followed? Children, feel free to tell. I don't mind explaining it again. But late towards the end, you should not say that beginning part I did not understand. We'll rectify all those and go. Okay, otherwise towards the end, if you say it will be difficult. A particular slide, once it is completed, if you can't understand or you're finding it difficult, I'll explain again. But don't tell me towards the end that those in the beginning, those topics were not clear. Okay, then and there, immediately you have to tell, so that we can make it thorough, or we can clarify the concepts and proceed. Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And Hadivi wanted to see it once again. Variation is useful for the survival of species over time. Children, two statements I told, it can be asked as a reasoning question. One is variations are useful for the survival of species over time. They might ask you, explain the statement. Then one more sentence I told, reproduction is linked to the stability of the species. Explain. Both you should know. Don't ignore it thinking that this is there in the introduction part. But it's having significance. We don't know from where they are going to ask questions. And one more thing, children, the question paper for your first term exam will not be set by your teachers. It comes from CBSE. You will have external invigilators too. And they will have their own methods to check whether any malpractices are going on. So see that you learn thoroughly well, be confident enough so that you can do well and score better marks. Okay? Have you noted? Okay. I just want to say one more thing. Children, for your first term exam, which is going to be held in November, you have, from biology, I'm saying just one chapter. And second term, you have 3 chapters. Okay. That is how I have sent the syllabus now in the group. Did I? If not, I will send it in the group. I will send it. I will send it in the group. So there, maybe you can even download from CBSE site, cbse.nic.in, or else I will forward. And there you can see how they have divided it into two terms. The portions are split into two terms. And biology, only one chapter is there in the first term. Our environment, reproduction, and also heredity and evolution included in the second term. Now, what I am saying is, already you have completed revision for your, I'm not saying completed the whole revision, at least many times you have completed revision. Now, don't ignore it. We have to keep on revising it so that you will be thorough with each and every line in that first chapter. So you can easily score marks. However twisted questions they ask, you can easily answer. So what I'm thinking is, even though our exams are there in November, in between, I might take some revision test with application level questions, assertion reasoning questions. So I will tell you, I'll divide it into 4 topics: transportation, nutrition, respiration, and excretion. Okay, a brief test we can have, and then the next class we can have a discussion on those questions, so that you will not lose the touch with the subject, means a chapter, because we'll be proceeding with the other chapters. Already we have completed one chapter from the second term, that is our environment. And we have started with the third one, reproduction. But that doesn't mean that you should not learn your daily lesson. You should learn your daily lesson. Spend some time for daily lessons. Don't think that, oh, it is there in the second term, I will learn it later. But by the time you open the chapter, you might have forgotten whatever was discussed in the class. So on a daily basis, whatever is being covered, you read it, revise it. Along with that, you need to revise the portions for the first term also. Okay. Only one chapter in November test, but that will be the question paper will come from outside. So you should not take it lightly. They can be very tricky questions. So you should be trained for that. And you will get enough questions from different sites in Google. Download it and save. And once you finish a particular topic, you try to do whether you are able to solve it. And next class onwards, we will have some discussion on assertion reasoning questions. I think better the chapter which I'm dealing with. So based on that, we can discuss some 1 or 2 on a daily basis, assertion reasoning questions. So you will get an idea. Have you done assertion reasoning earlier? Are you familiar with assertion reasoning questions?
No, ma'am.
No. So next class onwards, 1 or 2 questions we will discuss, so that you will get an idea how are these questions are asked and how you should answer for that. Assertion reasoning also can be asked in the multiple choice ones. We don't know what type of questions they are going to ask. But already the portions we have finished beforehand. Now it is only your turn to complete it, make it thorough. Make it so thorough, so that from wherever they are asking question, you should be confident to answer it. Okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why nobody is responding? Only 1 or 2 are responding. Okay. So with the slide, we'll find out. There are.
Ma'am, can you show last slide?
Okay. There are 2 types of reproduction, children, which you are very familiar with. In the introduction also I mentioned, there are mainly 2 types of reproduction. One is sexual and the other one is asexual reproduction. The differences also we discussed very briefly in the previous class. John, once you finish, please let me know. Two types are there, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved, no fusion of gametes, no formation of gametes and no fusion. If no gametes are formed, no chance of fusion. And there are several advantages for reproduction. One is that the organism doesn't have to depend upon another organism for carrying out reproduction. Here only a single parent is needed. So there is no need of male and female parents. So they don't have to depend. An organism doesn't have to depend upon another organism to carry out reproduction. Time taken is very less when compared to sexual reproduction. And at a time or within a small period of time, several offsprings can be produced. The offsprings are exact clones of their parents. They look exactly like their parents, identical to their parents, because there is no chance of recombination of characters. Or here, when mother and father are involved, so these two gametes will fuse and there will be some new combination of characters, because two individuals are involved. Here only one individual is involved, so they'll be identical to the parent. So these are the advantages. So mainly there are two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. And in asexual reproduction, only one parent is involved. There is no formation or fusion of gametes. There are several advantages for asexual reproduction. The first point is that an organism doesn't have to depend upon another organism to carry out reproduction. Here, a single parent is enough to carry out the process. Second, this gets completed within a short period of time and more individuals or more offsprings can be produced. And the last point, the offsprings produced will be exact clones of the parents. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Vishnupriya,
Yes, ma'am.
can I stop sharing? John?
Wait a second.
Okay, carry on. Children, we learned about asexual reproduction now. What are the advantages I said? Hey, Steve, tell me one advantage of asexual reproduction. Quickly, don't waste time.
Only single parent is.
Read. Only single parent is involved. Rifa?
Ma'am, less duration compared to sexual reproduction.
Within a short period of time. Meghna, another point?
The offsprings are exact copies of.
So the offspring will be exact clones of the parent. And one more point I said, who can say that missed point? Prajot? Within a short period of time, more offsprings can be more number can be produced within a short period of time. We'll continue next class, children. Thank you.